My name is Rahab. I am a mother of 2 daughters. I live in Johannesburg with my husband and my children. I was firstly diagnosed with cancer in October 2017. This was followed by a period when I was sick, but not very sick. I didn't know what was wrong with me, to a point that I didn't go to the doctor. I was not very sick. It was just a pain around the breast. And usually we associate that pain with maybe because I'm on my period, it will go away. And it was really that, nothing more, nothing much, you know. But there was this one weekend that the pain, for some reason, it went worse. When I was breathing, I could actually feel that it's like I'm breathing through my breast. Like as I'm breathing out, the pain, I could feel it. And I was sitting at home and I fetched my phone, looked up some few places where I can go and get the breast checked. And there was this one place that I found. And I found the place because it was a weekend, nobody was there and nobody responded to the phone. I decided, okay, maybe I must try them on Monday. Because the pain was not that bad, I could still stay, I could still survive the weekend. On Monday morning, as I'm dropping off the kids at school, this lady phoned me. Hi, I'm Elise. I got your message. We got a missed call from you. Do you want to come see us? Is there a problem? Yes, there's a problem. The next day I was there and asked me different questions, which I answered, like, is there a history of cancer? What symptoms are you having and all of that? So the first thing that they did was screening, was, like feeling the breast. The doctor was feeling the breast and all of that, and checking on doing an ultrasound, checking. They found a cyst, which they drained and they sent the fluid to the lab. The results came back. Because they only removed the fluid from the cyst, it didn't help them to do a diagnosis. So there was no diagnosis of cancer. So there was a recommendation that I should do a biopsy, which means they have to remove tissues from the breast and send those to the lab. And the results of that then would determine whether I have cancer or not. So because of that uncertainty, my doctor then gave me antibiotics and something to help ease the pain away. And 3 months when I was back at the doctor for another screening, at that time I felt a lump underneath my arm and I didn't know what was happening with me. So she saw the lump on the scan. There were actually a lot of them, but I could only feel one. There were a lot of them as she was looking at the scan. And she did a biopsy, sent those tests to the lab. When the results came back 3 days later, Elise phoned me, Mrs. Zulu, we've got your results. Come, get your results. I said, okay, I'll be there tomorrow. The next day in the morning, she phones me. Are you coming to get your results? I said, yes, I'm on my way. Oh, are you with your husband? I said, yes. Okay, I knew then something was wrong. As I put the phone down, I said to my husband, you know what? I know I've got cancer. I just know. He still said, no, maybe they're just wanting to make sure that you've got someone. These things you may never know. I just knew it, like my instinct, my gut feeling told me that, you know what? It's the worst. Anyways, we drove, got there, and you could see by people's faces, like, you know what, today I'm not going to get the good news. When everybody else is just looking at you with this face that is so sad, even they're trying to hide it, but you can see through people's faces. But anyway, I went into the doctor. I could see the doctor was devastated, like she didn't know how to break the news to me. She just didn't know. We sat by the round table, me, the doctor, and my husband. And the first thing that she said to me is that, Rahab, you've got cancer. I shut down for a moment. I didn't exist for a moment. I'm not so sure that I understood exactly what she said. But my life ceased for that moment. I couldn't understand anything that anybody could say. And of course, she was explaining, this cancer. She diagnosed me with invasive ductal carcinoma, which forms from your milk ducts. And from there, because it had already went to the lymph nodes. That's why I was also diagnosed with metastatic cancer, because it spread from the breast to the lymph nodes. They also graded, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 in terms of severity. I was grade 3 because it was so invasive, like it was growing rapidly. It was grade 3. And because it had already spread to the lymph nodes, it was stage 3. Now, it was very difficult for the doctor to break those news for me. But she tried her best. She really did. She told me it's not a death sentence. There are a lot of survivors. She was going to refer me to a good doctor, an oncologist, who was going to assist me. Look, I didn't know what it means for me. Never in my life did I make research about cancer. Nobody cares about cancer. If you don't have cancer, you don't actually focus on it. I mean, why should you? I didn't know what it meant for me, The only thing I think I could relate with cancer was death, because a lot of us, we only know cancer. Yeah, once you have cancer, you're going to die. I mean, that's all we know. And at that time, that's all I knew, that my life had ended, and I didn't have the vision to see myself growing, to see myself achieving my goals. No, I actually didn't think it was worth it for me to go through the treatments and all of that, especially when I was told it's stage 3, which is advanced. Like, I was thinking, oh my God, did I do anything wrong? Am I getting a punishment? But it's not like that. It's really not like that. So I went to the oncologist, who then ordered the CT scans to look into my body, my organs, my liver, my lungs, my abdomen, to see if the cancer had spread. So I did the CT scan, I did the bone scan to see my bones, because cancer can also spread to the bone marrow. But fortunate for me, it didn't spread before I did the chemo. And I think that's the most important thing to do, is to see how far the cancer has gone to. Because it's so silent, you might look at yourself and feel okay. Meanwhile, it had spread, like with me, it had spread to the lymph vessels. And the danger of that is that your body is connected through the lymphatic system. And once it is there, the chances of it spreading are very high, like extremely high. It goes fast. I think that was the major concern for me and for the doctors, which is why I had to do all those scans. And at that time, it didn't spread. So the doctors knew exactly what they were dealing with, and they dealt with it, So I was quite relieved to know that the cancer had not spread to the organs, because some people, they then find out, no, now it's on the liver, it's also on the liver, it's also on the bones and all that. But with me, fortunate enough, it was still contained. It was an advanced stage, granted, but it was still local, where now the doctors could still deal with it locally and remove it locally. Yeah, that's the type of cancer that I was diagnosed with. The two cancers, invasive ductal carcinoma and metastatic breast cancer.